Meet Dot. Dot is teaching her geology course via web conferencing at Summit Heights University to save time and money for the school and her students. Her students are spread all over the animal kingdom, and in-person meetups have become increasingly difficult to organize. However, 4 of her students are now completely disengaged and failing. Sound familiar? Don't worry. A lot of us struggle to keep our audiences engaged when facilitating live synchronous events. So, how do you keep your audience engaged? Feed their brains. Let's investigate why DOT students are withdrawn and explore a few brain-based learning strategies that will get them back on track. Olivia is a straight-A student and loves coming to class. Since the transition to web conferencing, she has been completely distracted and can't focus. At any given moment, Olivia is texting with her friends, playing online video games, surfing YouTube, and constantly on social media. Olivia has a classic case of hyperconnectedness. Like most of us today, she is motivated by her desire to be busy and in demand, which, by the way, increases error rates by 50%. According to developmental biologist John Medina, we only have a 10-minute attention span, and we don't pay attention to boring things. So, Dot must do something emotionally relevant every 10 minutes to keep Olivia focused. This could be as simple as a team task activity, like a discussion group or a breakout session. But storytelling helps too. Why? Storytelling enhances emotional connectedness and understanding of concepts. It's what the brain likes the best. Carl is having difficulty recalling information for quizzes and exams. He pays attention and does well in discussions, but he's mentioned several times of feeling overwhelmed by everything there is to learn. To enhance Carl's learning experience, Dot must engage multiple senses simultaneously. Studies show that multisensory environments improve information recall by as much as 75%. By creating a multisensory environment, we take advantage of the brain's conditioning to integrate the senses together. Vision and hearing are often our most utilized senses for learning. In Carl's case, Dot could wield the modality principle, which is using both images and narration to present information, and also the redundancy principle, which excludes text. Dot could also add music during virtual lessons. Music can inspire concentration and imagination. Incorporating music to set the mood leaves a mark on the brain's perception of the learning. Oscar isn't absorbing concepts from the class sessions. Unlike Olivia, he actively listens to the lectures and tries to make connections between the topic and his life. But his voice is often missing from discussions as he's scrambling to catch up on his notes. What could help Oscar be more successful in class? Pictures, motion, color. Anything to make the information more visual and easier to understand. When it comes to our senses, vision is king. Studies have shown that students who are exposed to more conceptual images can retrieve and recall these images with 90% accuracy several days later. So, swap out the text-heavy PowerPoint slides with relevant, high-quality images. This will make the lecture more interesting and allow students like Oscar to make connections towards images so they can recall and remember the information later. Motion helps too. Dot could add in geology videos from YouTube or include simple animations within the presentation slide. Lastly, use creative formatting. Incorporate a color scheme, use size to draw interest to objects or text, and add objects to point out important details or facts. These steps will help engage and teach students like Oscar to find the most important information and to remember it. Dolly has become an information zombie, mindlessly chewing her way through the course and eating lessons without any understanding of their substance. To change her perception of what she's learning, Dot must engage her natural curiosity and urge to explore. Activating this power within the course content means adding in more mystery. Mysteries ask questions and spark the urge of the brain to find answers. Dot could also pique Dolly's sense of curiosity and exploration by the way of mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are in the brain and they react to observed phenomena as though the observer is the actor. This reaction impacts people's empathy as well as their ability to interpret what is likely to happen. So, if the student sees someone's experiencing it, they are more likely to feel like they are experiencing it themselves. Dot begins to notice substantial improvements from Olivia, Carl, Oscar, and Dolly. By feeding their brains, active learning is enabled even from a distance. Studies have shown that the average person, ages 8 through 18, spend about 6 hours a day connected to a digital communication device, often simultaneously. And this phenomenon is not restricted to youth. This means that instructors like Dot, like you, and like me, have to compete for the brains of learners. Using the science of the brain will give instructors an edge in engaging the minds of the students, and will also give the students an edge in learning. Cultivating and facilitating richer engagement in our live synchronous events can be challenging, but you can do it. Keep an open mind and test out these strategies. Research more, and remember, it's okay to ask your learners for feedback.